Welcome everybody to this first event that I'm organizing actually with Hub Security called Institutional Custody Meets DeFi. I am joined tonight with Ido Helshtock, who is the Chief Product Officer at Hub Security. My name is Eleonore Blanc. I'll be your moderator slash host for tonight. I'm the founder of CryptoCanal, and I usually specialize in education, marketing, and business development. I'm based in Amsterdam. I've been cryptoing for a couple of years, and I'm really honored to be working with Hub Security. They are my cybersecurity partner, and I feel like with their recent release and integrating with Metamask, we had to make an event. We had to show this. We had to discuss it with you guys. So yeah, hi Ido, welcome.
Hey, hello Eli. Great to be here.
Yeah, so where are you? What are you doing?
I'm in Tel Aviv, basically, right now. It's almost summer, by the way. It's 28 degrees Celsius, so it's really hot here. Fun.
Wow.
And finally getting out of coronavirus stuff. So start to open. So great.
I'm a little bit jealous what you're saying. I'm looking outside. We have a typical Amsterdam weather with rainy windows, gloomy gray sky. It's been white all day and it's definitely not 28 degrees, but I'm very happy to hear that you're getting out of pandemic days. We are still under hard lockdown, so don't rub it too much in my face that you have a life and that you can finally enjoy things. Yeah. So I'm happy to hear that you're doing good in Tel Aviv, and I think everybody wants to know what you do at Hub Security. What is a chief product officer? Tell us a bit more about Hub Security and what you do there.
Okay, cool. Maybe I'll say some words about where I'm coming from, what I'm doing.
Yeah, please. The more you want to share, the better.
Basically, I'm an engineer. I live in Tel Aviv. I'm in Hub Security for almost 3 years now, leading the products. And I'm coming from, listen carefully, 20 years in the IDF. I've been, starting.
Wait, for those who don't know, what is the IDF?
It's the Israeli Defense Forces. So as an engineer, I've been serving in one of the technology units in the IDF cyber unit, where basically, it's a technology unit that is responsible to building communication and cyber protection for products that we are building for IDF. So one of my biggest products that I've been leading was the IDF encrypted cellular system, which is a national-wide system that's supposed to enable a soldier fighting in the field to have, the very sensitive information in their hand while they're fighting. It can be inside towns, it can be outside of the border. So basically, you need to deliver reliable communication and, even more important, secure. So you need to defend, to secure all details, all data. And that was the stuff I was leading, including, ad hoc networks, LTE, 4G networks. So lots of interesting stuff that you managed to do in the army. And when I finished my service, it was like almost 4 years ago as a lieutenant colonel. I came here, talked with the guys. I've met some of them, of the founders, while serving in the army. So I found extremely interesting people, believers, that they are not fighting from advantages, looking to explore and, fix like real problem. And I heard also there are fixing problems of security in blockchain and crypto and stuff. And, it was 2017, I guess. It was, all over the place. So I jumped over it. And since then I'm here. So
wow,
this is few words about myself. And, Hub Security, the team here is built of really expert, cybersecurity experts in the defense domain and in the offensive domain, cyber domain. Like they really build hardware in their hands with many years of experience. And we are literally building the whole stack, like from the design to the application, the API, the hardware. Well, we'll talk a little bit about it. So for me, it's, it's like a second family here.
Sounds really nice. It seems that you were able to find the perfect family after your years in the army to apply all your engineering background and everything you basically were working on in an end-to-end encryption and applying it to a more user-facing product or company-facing product.
Yeah, definitely. So same challenges, different type of, reshaping. But yeah, we are taking a lot of stuff and tactics that we've learned through the years, and we apply them in blockchain, crypto, digital assets, but not only. So we are really fixing some big issues of security and privacy, which are not related only for crypto. For example, these days we are building a solution for telecom company that wishes to deliver AI services from their own data center, like for hospitals and healthcare, which are, shooting photos of MRI and CT. So they've built the model, the AI model, and they want to share it and to enable the service from their own data center. So they request us to build the platform to secure all the model, their IP basically. So we are doing lots of stuff, including, crypto, Metamask and stuff, which is always exciting.
It feels like crypto and and blockchain in general is just like a small part of your business currently. You've always obviously been working with other institutionals. You just mentioned healthcare and banks. Is this new, these crypto clients, or are you just applying a product basically that can be applied to just many industries and many different companies?
Oh, this is an interesting question. So our platform basically, it's a general purpose platform. It's we are building it to support multiple use cases. Like, we see today critical infrastructure companies under, massive attacks of hackers all over the world. Like recently it was published that in US, hackers tried to compromise the water system to rise the chloride levels, to poison the water basically. So there are huge challenges today when the world's getting connected. IoT connects to critical infrastructure. Companies are moving fast to the cloud without, really having best practices and best products to protect themselves. And they are putting the, most valuable assets exposed to hackers. So there's a lot of stuff, and companies that we are helping today are from critical infrastructure to telco companies, banking, custody. Some of the companies that we are helping to in the blockchain space, for example, is to mint tokens and distribute them, like in large scale. We help companies today to secure the baking services for Tezos blockchain, which is,
for those who don't know what minting or baking is, I guess, because we're, as you said, you're covering so many different industries, but we're all relying on the same basically encryption, right? In the end, we're using this. Your services can be applied to many different services and not only cryptocurrencies, but cryptocurrencies do rely on the same technology as well. So it's really an interesting place for you guys to be in. And for those who don't know what he was talking about, when he was talking about baking and minting tokens, Hub Security has been working with the Tezos Israeli branch. So that's what he meant by baking. Their free service of Tezos.
So basically, Eli, as you mentioned, our platform is built on top of our innovative architecture that we've built. So basically, our model is trust no one, or zero trust. basically all networks today are compromised. Everything is connected. Hackers are really getting sophisticated, and you can't really, trust on the perimeter. You cannot trust the server in the cloud. You cannot trust your mobile phone or your PC. So we've built a secure hardware, which, some call it an HSM, hardware secure module, like, banking industry, not baking, is using for credit cards verification when you enter your PIN code, for example, for payments. So we've built our own innovative platform, which is built on those concepts. And we're also applying, we are building it to be designed to the highest level of certification today in the market. I guess we'll talk about it later on, but we are aiming to the highest level in the market. Like stuff like IBM doing with the mainframe and HSM and stuff, we are doing it in a totally different way, but we are getting to the same level of security. So inside that platform, what we call the confidential compute platform, we can run, or our clients can run, any type of application they want, basically. And we can approve them and assure them that they can run whatever application inside, which no one from the outside world, from the network, from the cloud, whatever, can get inside and hack the data. So that's basically, when looking on the overview, what we are doing at Hub Security. And we are, as mentioned before, we are designing the hardware, building the architecture, doing the assembly, writing the code.
You do everything. You do everything from end-to-end encryption and the whole product line. Basically, you guys are in full control of it.
Yeah, right. It's really important for us to control all the stack, because there we can be very agile to meet, crazy customers that need, crazy stuff. So easily we can do it and support those market changing very fast. But basically, when you are building security encryption, there are some stuff you need to be aligned to the certification, like what NIST approved eventually. NIST is the national institution of the US to approve products like that for key management, HSM, etc. So we are not building a new cryptography here. We are using the same standard in the industry. It's extremely important for us, so our clients will know that they are getting, approved and certificate products eventually. So this is really important.
Yeah, I think in the cybersecurity space, obviously, I think everybody has the greatest tech, the greatest engineers, right? But it's always important as well to have third parties basically reviewing your product and also certifying it, and also giving that trust to consumers. Because if we're talking about large amounts of cryptocurrency for this topic tonight, but also for the larger space in general, when you're talking about healthcare or banking or other services, I think third-party certifications and audits are very important and allow customers and companies to build that trust. They're not alone just trying you guys. Other people have vetted your products and your technology.
Yeah, definitely. And we are spending a lot of effort and funds on third-party reviews. We are using really the best companies in the world from several places with different types of, thoughts and attacks. And we are sharing with them what we are doing, including the architecture, the hardware, the software. And basically we're letting them, like white box, and they're trying to hack it, they can't, surprisingly. And we are putting a lot of effort on this because we trust ourselves, but we want to be sure that top hackers around the world can't really get any type of access to our platform.
That must be a very exciting, thing to go through, by the way, to expose yourself to hackers, that you're basically telling people, please try to go through our barriers and see, how we can improve. And if it comes back and they can't get in, I think that must be a very satisfying process, isn't it?
So, we are not shouting to the world, come and attack us. We don't like to do it. It's not the type we're doing. But we do third-party reviews, trying to, to do the best from our side and from their side to make sure that all the protection that we implement is, fully secure, no breaches. Yeah, so we are doing it quietly, and that's the way we do it.
But quietly, professionally, but making sure that then you can also publish those results and be able to show the world basically what your platform, your custody platform, and that.
Yeah. So
explaining the labels you guys have today.
So this stuff is really sensitive. What we are doing today, for example, the design of our products is all comply to what's called FIPS 140-2 level 3, level 4. So level 4 is the highest level of compliant in the market today, certification, and this is our design. Basically, to put it in scope, the standard says that there are the list of rules that you need to comply to, including, of course, remote attacks and all that stuff. Someone from the external network cannot hack it, but also to apply physical level of attacks. So if someone physically come to the box, try to open it, try to write it on it, try to put some voltage inside, or try to hack it from totally different ways, like to hit it even. We've built a mechanism to detect it and immediately wipe the secrets and the codes that will not allow anyone, for example, to open the box and burn new code inside the chips, even get access to it. So we're implementing multi-layer of security based on our knowledge and our expertise, and to comply to those really tough certifications in the market. And we are doing some unique stuff that, of course, I cannot speak right here. Yeah, so that's what we're doing.
It's okay. I understand that we have to keep a little bit of the magic for the back end, and it's obviously very sensitive information. And it's interesting because for me, you're my first cybersecurity partner, so I've been learning a lot through you guys as well on what you're developing and what that implies, and also realizing, I guess, because we talk a lot about hacks in crypto, we talk about having proper security. But I think for a lot of people out there to realize that this is security that we need everywhere, not just in crypto, but this regards basically all of our sensitive information and data. And there's leaks, sadly, every day. And I guess some companies out there really need to start using your services. So I think this is a very interesting topic. And I think we need to bring more of the security on the forefront and tell people that there are solutions, basically. And usually the hacks that we see are really human errors as well. And obviously some of them are due to very sophisticated hacks, but human error, even at the highest level, sometimes can happen. And I wish more people would implement proper security, not just in crypto, in all layers of government as well. Currently, I'll just plug in a little things that Switzerland right now is trying to figure out how to do e-government, and they're terrible at it. And it's been years and decades of poor policy planning around securing people and citizens' data. So I think it's interesting to be able to see that this is really a widespread issue, but it's also why there are solutions, basically, like you guys.
By the way, we saw, recent attacks trying to hack the intellectual property of companies that, inventing and building vaccines to COVID. So there are really bad adversaries out there trying to hack and get the patents from those companies and steal them. And the issue here, which is basically not really solved currently in the market, is the problem of how to secure data in use. So, once you have data, which is extremely sensitive, like you are building a patent, and so you can encrypt it and secure it. But once your engineers or your software engineers want to use it, they actually need or must decrypt it, decrypt the data. And once the application is using that data while it's in the RAM in execution, there is the problem, and there are the hackers that trying to compromise the system. They are already there. They are just waiting for the right moment to steal the data, to steal the sensitive data. We see many cases of companies that are being hacked, and afterwards, let's say ransomware. Unless those hackers are selling the data in the dark web, or those companies, by the way, today get fined by the by governments by regulation in tens of millions of dollars because they are not applying to GDPR, privacy rules, or HIPAA regulation in the healthcare. So the impact on those companies that cannot secure themselves right are in big pain today. And those are the big issues that we are coming to solve today for organizations.
You guys are like, it's okay, you're safe with us, you can use Hub Security. No, but I think it's, you're mentioning these really difficult hacks, and my heart goes out to the people that get hacked like this. People are, they trust. Why wouldn't you trust an institutional party, a government, or a company with your data? We've been blindly giving our personal data to a lot of third parties all over. I mean, when I think of my personal history on the internet, or anything I've bought, anything I've purchased, anything where I've had to complete KYC, AML, these are things where that data is out there, and I have to trust all these parties to make sure that my data is safe and secure, and that no one's going to use it one day against me. Sadly, in crypto, and recently there's been several hacks as well regarding people's private personal addresses, and that's something very sensitive, especially when we're talking about people who potentially have large amounts of cryptocurrencies, and now people can knock on their door. So again, we can't stress enough how important and this responsibility that these companies have, and owe their users basically better protection. We all deserve better protection. And I think the whole movement behind GDPR as well in Europe was very fascinating to follow as well, and requiring more rights for our rights online to be forgotten, or to be able to retrieve our data. But I feel like we're getting, this is a great conversation, but I feel like we're getting a bit sidetracked, but I think
we're getting emotional here.
But I mean, it is, okay, fine, I'll be emotional. It is important. And we need to have better privacy, and better, not only better privacy, but also to ensure that all these third parties take care of our data properly. And I feel like that's what I should expect from everyone out there, and even more with institutions that have the audacity, but also maybe because they're providing a service, to get all our data from us. They ask a lot, so they should, in the back end, make sure that they have the proper processes.
And there are times that you can do everything right, and then there is like a supply chain attack, like happened in the SolarWind example. You are implementing a code or a system that is, supposed to be very trusted and audited. And basically through that system, through that code, you inject malicious actors into your network. We see right now, Microsoft Exchange email is under, attack. It's compromised. That's what they say about in the last several weeks, even months. And many companies all over the world right now, even government, high-level companies, they are under really frightening about, compromise, phishing attacks internally. So those kind of attacks, even if you do everything right, if you don't protect your most precious IP assets, it can be crypto, digital assets, but every data you have, then you have something to keep it, even if there's a bad actor inside your network. That's the issue. Don't trust the cloud, don't trust your network, don't trust your data center, don't trust your laptop or mobile phone. That's it. That's the world we are living.
I think we're going to scare people away. Let's talk about your product. Let's talk about what you guys are actually building and ensuring, basically, to reassure people. And if there's no trust to have, we are here to say that you can trust Hub Security. And we want to also talk to you about the fact that you guys have recently integrated with MetaMask. And what does that mean for Hub Security, and what does that mean for the larger cryptocurrency industry at large?
So MetaMask is really exciting. MetaMask, DeFi, there is a big hype right now. Maybe a short story, one of my designers that I'm working with, UX design, arts and stuff, he was calling me about 2 weeks ago and he asked me, hey, Ido, I need to buy some Ether. How can I secure it? How can I transfer the funds to MetaMask and secure it? And I thought he's going into, investment and stuff. So he told me, so I asked him, why do we need to buy it? So he told me, I need to pay for gas to buy NFTs, which is non-fungible tokens, because I'm, putting my art online on the blockchain, and I'm going to sell it with, cryptographic approval that those arts are mine. So NFTs today, I'm not sure of how you familiar, the guys that are listening right now. It's crazy. It's getting crazy. So, if you're looking at gaming industry, you can buy a weapon and cryptographically approve it's yours. So you are the one who holds it and you can trade it. You can sell it to someone else. If you build your own, art, you can put it for sale. And there are many use cases are now running in the internet, and my designer is there, is starting to put it for sale. And from my perspective, this DeFi blockchain stuff, it's an opportunity. It's an innovation for opportunity for communities all over to empower people, not rely on the intermediaries and the central banks, organization, like to empower the community, the people, the owners of the data or the assets. So this is really exciting for us to build a solution to protect those organization, people, whatever they are. And one implementation of our product is basically to enable simple integration with MetaMask. So MetaMask used to be some, solution from all over, many solutions out there. But today, MetaMask is basically a gateway for lots of Web3 applications or dApps that are using a blockchain. So once we integrated with MetaMask, basically we enable our clients to seamlessly use our product from whatever application they're using. So it can be Uniswap, it can be Bancor, it can be lots of dApps and application that seamlessly connect to our product, and we can secure all the transaction and processes.
Yeah, indeed. So for those who are maybe not familiar with all this, MetaMask is a browser wallet extension, which allows you to have your private keys, and indeed is the most used, I guess, gateway into the decentralized finance space to be able to connect with decentralized exchanges, like you've mentioned, like Uniswap or SushiSwap or anything out there, Compound and more. And there's a lot of opportunities there. However, MetaMask is also is a fantastic product, but has its limits as well. And with hub security, basically, if you integrate your hub, your mini HSM plus MetaMask, you really are sort of ensuring, and especially for institutional parties here, to be able to actually get to the DeFi space in a secure way. Because today it's basically in MetaMask, it's more limited. Basically, there's no rules that you can implement, or there's no multi-signatures that you can implement. You can connect. It's a gateway, but it's a very just open gateway. And I think with Hub Security, it allows for specific partners to still not miss the opportunity that is in DeFi. NFTs are fantastic, right? These non-fungible tokens right now, basically, where basically a little bit of data, a little bit of cryptocurrency is related to a real life asset or a digital asset. It can be anything. Like you mentioned, it could be in gaming, your favorite Minecraft tree or asset or hammer can be tokenized and can be exchanged. So that's one part of DeFi. But decentralized exchanges today, I think, I don't have the latest data in mind, but just last year, I think it's more than a 200 billion industry and in volume and in trade happening. This is not a small run of them. It's really a significant industry right now that's taking off. Decentralized finance has been talked about for a long time in crypto, but I think the user interfaces were always a bit buggy. Liquidity was also a bit of a problem, and right now those problems are pretty much out of the way. And this is why we're seeing partners like Hub Security developing solutions specifically for institutional parties to get into DeFi, get into crypto, and to do it safely as well. You guys offer up to $400 of coverage and insurance. That's pretty significant.
Yeah, 400, up to $400 million of insurance.
Yeah.
We've been under due diligence for lots of months, and basically our platform is pre-approved for that kind of insurance for organization, institution, finance institution. Yeah, so our offering in that manner is great. Like, you don't see lots of opportunities like this. And we see DeFi. Today it's about $12 billion transfer of assets per 24 hours. Yeah, for one day. So it's crazy. It's getting crazy now. And what we basically enable those companies, we tell them, hey, exactly as you are using today credit cards and you trust your bank, we are securing your cryptos. We are securing basically all your funds in our confidential compute platform, our Vault HSM, as we call it. So your private keys, the blockchain company private keys, are secured in our vault, and but it's not enough. Like, basically, to secure it offline under the mountain in the snow, it doesn't really help you. Yeah, and especially in DeFi and trading and stuff, when stuff is happening, you need 24/7 availability with fast transaction and high performance. So we are building both. We've built a platform that first highly secure with all the levels of security that we implemented inside the product. So the company keys are secure and it's always available. So basically that's how our product is working. It's secure data on the cloud, on premise, and for crypto, it's crazy what we can do. For example, for Tezos, we are building, as I mentioned before, we built a full bakery, like transaction validation that requires 24/7 availability of the private key. So in those cases that you need both the highest level of security and you need availability, here we stand with our product to offer organizations that today interact with the blockchain, with the crypto, with Metamask, can work with us.
Yeah, so, it's pretty unique. I haven't seen many products out there that offer this level of security and that allow as well. I think what's a very interesting feature of the product as well. Because I was very lucky to have like a full demo with one of your with one person of your team basically, but to really be able to as well to decide on the rules. So within, it's not just one person interacting with MetaMask, but it's really several, it can be several people with different authorization basically in the team that can just from the mini HSM can interact, it can process transaction basically. So it's really the full multi-signature security level that you want while making sure that it's easier access, right? We're not talking about a hardware that's completely offline. It allows you really to be in DeFi, get in, get out quickly, take advantage of these opportunities in DeFi very quickly, while having the max. It feels too good to be true, right? To have like this maximum level of security while being quite flexible. I think it's missing right now, and I think this is why this is a product that, well, for me personally, I don't manage millions of of crypto assets of people, so I'm not one of your clients, but just as a observer of the space, to see this type of solutions coming is pretty exciting.
Yeah, definitely. And as you mentioned, one of the security layers that we enable our clients is that they can set any type of rules and access to the vault. So basically, if you are a company like a bank and you want to transfer $100 million from one account to another, you don't trust, one person using his email to approve it.
Is that how it works in the real world? Are some people still doing that? Yes, I guess.
Yeah, sadly, yeah. And they were the hacks also. In crypto, you cannot go back. There's no one to call to revert. So in that case, you need to enable specific sets of rules inside the vault, which no one can see, no one can change, no one can modify, else, the administrator, the one who has our device to change it or to modify it or to set. So, for example, if you want to transfer big money, you can set a rule that limits the ability to do it with one signature. And if it's more than 1 Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoins, you can decide, okay, I would like 2 managers in the company to sign it, like a multi-sig. So there are lots of opportunities and options that we enable our clients. For example, you can set a type of velocity rule. How many transactions do I enable in 1 hour or 1 minute from the vault? We can enable delay transaction. So while the transaction is waiting there, specific sets of person in the company can cancel it because they want to audit it, they want to check it. There are lots of opportunities for the administrator to set any type of rule he wants. And what we are doing uniquely here is that those sets in this rule engine is running inside the vault itself. So there are some companies who enable this service, but the rules are running outside in a non-secure environment. So if I'm a hacker, a little bit sophisticated, I will hack the network, I will understand the rules, and I will falsify and send transaction under the radar. So this is the weakest link in some of the products out there. In our case, we are running the full flow, everything inside the vault. So if you are not the one who gets the mini HSM device, it's our, as we call it, mini HSM. It's a mini hardware secure module with a 2.4-inch touchscreen.
It's really cute. I don't know who's responsible for the actual UI UX, but really, like, it's really cute. You've made it like I haven't had one in my hands, but it's like a little bit bigger than an Apple Watch, I want to say, like, kind of screen, but it's a bit like, it has a bit of that those edges, guys, like if you're listening, just jump on the website for those who need like visual support of what we're talking about. It's like this really cute little device, and then there's the actual vault. So the little device is what everybody in the company or the people that are supposed to validate these transactions and are supposed to sign transactions would have access to. And then the vault is just, I want to say this vault, but I know it's not this big, but it's just like a flat.
Yeah, it's a 19-inch, server,
Right.
a unique one.
That one's not as cute. That one doesn't have to be cute. That's just like whatever.
It's black, very beautiful, and it's secure. So you don't need to see it. Basically, it's in the back end. Just connect to the internet and the power, and it's on. As simple as that. And as you mentioned, the person in the company that are responsible for approving or changing the rules, setting, administrating, they will hold the mini HSM. Again, we don't trust anything, not the laptop, not the mobile phone. They are all hacked. So we are helping our clients so they can see the whole data that goes basically from their side, from the endpoint side, to the vault and then to the blockchain. Just to give you an example, one really, painful hack that happened in the last December, about 3 months ago. There is a guy that, he had lots of NXM tokens, like worth of $8 million. And he was using Metamask. He was using one of the most popular hardware wallets out there and, holding $8 million. And like he was trying to do everything right, basically. But when, your laptop is not secure and it's compromised by a hacker, what they did, basically, they reinstalled Metamask, like a fake Metamask application. And when that guy wanted to redeem a reward, kind of reward from the blockchain, he tapped the pop-up that jumped on the MetaMask, which looks really, looks good. That's the data, all the information is there. And then the hacker spoofed the transaction and sent it to the hardware wallet. So the guy looked at the wallet, you see gibberish because it's all hexadecimal, they don't support all this stuff. So basically, he blindly signed the transaction. And that was a spoof transaction that sent $8 million worth of tokens to the hacker's account. So in our case, it never happens from 2 reasons. One, you set rules in the vault. You limit the numbers of tokens that you can send in one transaction. You can decide that 2% in the company will sign it. And, and from other perspective, in our mini HSM device, the small device in your hand, you can see all the information in the transaction. You can see the token, you can see the address, you can see how much funds you're sending. Like in our touchscreen, it's that size, but you can see and you scroll and you can see all the data, the fees, whatever. So this is a huge advantage when you are dealing with very sensitive, assets. And we know that, hackers are targeting those people, those companies. They are looking for the MetaMask application, for the hardware wallets. They are looking for that. In our case, you don't need to mess with any, USB stick or something that keeps $8 million. You are connecting to a HSM vault, which basically we deliver today from our private cloud as a service. We are not doing the custody. It's non-custodial, like the client has his 24 words, he has the keys, he has everything, all the access, or we deliver our products on-prem. So, we have clients, some of them want to see the keys by visually. So we deliver our Vault HSM to those clients. They managing themselves on-prem without, using private cloud or service HSMs that we are delivering also.
Yeah,
so
I think
this
that's
is, crazy stuff, crazy hacks.
That's a horrible story, by the way. My heart again goes out to people that get hacked, and I guess this is because I do talk about security a lot in my classes, but I do try to not creep people out too much. But yes, for people to realize that your computer can get compromised, that your browser can get compromised, and therefore your MetaMask, and then someone can basically reroute your transaction is a thing. It's not something that happens. Actually, I don't know how much it happens. I don't want to say how often it happens. Let's just put it that way. It happens, and depending on the degree of how severe the hack is, the story is more horrible, more or less, and then hits the news. And that's usually the bad news that then mainstream media also picks up about cryptocurrency, and that it's not safe. And so therefore, institutionals are always a bit afraid of tapping into this market because they think we're dealing with all of our customer hedge funds, family offices, they want to get in, but they feel like it requires like this next level type of security. I mean, I think it does require some form of security, and you do need a proper CTO and someone who understands key management, because the party is responsible for their own keys. As you said, you're not a custody service, right? You don't, for people that want everything on, as you said, you can decide if you have everything on premises or if some of your clients can also use the cloud, but basically that's up to the client. But in the end, the client has their private keys. They are the ones managing it. So they have to have that level of knowledge, I guess, to be able to use your products as well safely. But it's, when you hear about the hack you just mentioned, it seems like that was a crazy transaction to make as well for one person, and to just sort of blindly sign it. It's,
and what hurts that this is a professional guy. So this is
I know.
not a regular guy. This is a man that knows what he's doing, but he doesn't have the right tools to protect himself. And we see companies today getting into the DeFi market and industry and struggling, and looking for tools to secure themselves. So finally, and from my perspective, as from Hub Security perspective, it's really exciting to help those companies. Blockchain is built to empower communities, the end clients, and we really feel that we are doing this today.
No, you're definitely filling a need, because it's not, we're not hack proof, far from it. And as the industry grows as well, the need for these types of services grow. So for a long time, I think cryptocurrencies and the space in general was smaller. Let's just put it that way. It was smaller. There were less people involved. There were maybe a lot of skeptics, and right now cryptocurrencies are every day more and more mainstream. NFTs, as you said, someone in your team who's now mentioning this out of nowhere, that's just, but again, that's a new user, that's a new person, that's a new digital artist that's putting his art out there in the form of an NFT. And a lot of mainstream companies are thinking of how to tokenize their assets, and that's just one teeny part of the industry out there. And that's currently, everybody's talking about NFTs. That's like all the rave is about NFTs.
Yeah.
I remember receiving my first CryptoKitty when it kind of crashed the Ethereum network at the time, because it was the network was so congested. But NFTs are wonderful, and just CryptoKitties was super cute. I actually saw my kitty from egg to kitty, like we hatched it, whatever. So there's so many cool things to be done in crypto today. And I also see that institutional actors, hedge funds, exchanges, wallets, anything that's holding a lot of cryptocurrency today, but they want to also have exposure to the DeFi world and space and access decentralized exchanges in a safe, secure way. There's a gap. There's a gap right there right now, and your product definitely. And this is why we're working together as well. I'm not just bullish for any reason, right? There are other products out there, but I think in terms of usability and security that you're offering, you guys tick a lot of boxes, I would say.
Yeah, we are doing our best. And protecting CryptoKitties is important. It's touching, but really we are looking at real stuff, like talking today about quantum computers that are going to break the current cryptographic encryption and stuff.
Is that a thing? Because that question has popped up at every meetup I've attended almost. Everybody's always asking at some point, oh, but what about quantum computing? Can it just break all of the encryption that's behind cryptocurrencies? Is that will you confirm the fear?
We see all over the world that companies and governments are building supercomputers, quantum computers, and eventually in the next few years, they will succeed to break those encryptions that are used today. And
I thought we had a bit more time. I thought we had like 1 or 2 decades. You're saying a couple of years now.
You never know. No one can really guess. It seems like it's not in the next 2 or 3 years, but I guess no decades. And the big issue right now is that all the data we are sending to the cloud encrypted, there are adversaries out there that are copying this data, keeping it. And once they have the ability to break it with quantum computers, they can break the encryption, decrypt the data, and gain lots of information, valuable information. So, organizations that are really using today the standard encryption, which is going to be break eventually in the next few years, they need to rush and build their own, post-quantum algorithms to be secured as even before there are the solutions to break it. That's the issue. So, we are looking at those problems, and inherently in all our products today, there is the basic stuff, what it's called QRNG. It's quantum key generator, which basically enables, when you are creating the keys. So that's the chip that build it in the most secure way. Like the randomness is almost perfect. So, and that is what's going to make quantum computers and brute force hacking very, very hard to do. But this is only one. The second stuff is to run the post-quantum algorithms, the encryption. So NIST, the American institution, is about to decide about those future-proof quantum-proof algorithms in the next few years, about 2 years from now. And we are building our platform to enable to accelerate and support those algorithms immediately after they are announced. So we are building our platform that once there are those algorithms available in the market, we can do a software update to our product. So our clients will get an update to support those algorithms. They don't need to run and change boxes. They don't need to buy a new box. And this is what's going to be crucial for organizations all over the world in the next few years from now. They will need to physically change all the infrastructure to enable those new algorithms. So, we are looking for that phase and to lead.
Wow. Like this is where my knowledge stops, is I have no clue about quantum computing basically. And I think it's interesting that you mentioned basically that the moment where right now you're protecting your users is when you're generating the key. So that's right now what they have, right? Is that the chip that's generating these 24, the mnemonic phrase basically, that's being done with a quantum resistant chip. Did I understand this correctly?
So all the keys that we are generating right now, it's built on top on the quantum key generator. So, when you are trying to hack encryption, one of the most important stuff is the randomness of the keys. And if it's like pseudo-random, it's really, you can break it easily with a fast enough computer. But if the randomness is extremely good, it's going to take you many years to do it.
And
so,
is this...
Yeah.
Is this an industry standard? Is everybody generating key with this, with a quantum key generator, or is this specific to you guys?
Definitely no, definitely not.
Okay. Oh, good. Good to know.
Yeah, yeah. Some are
All right.
using, software-based. Some are using what's called TRNG, which is a
Yeah.
pseudo numbers generators, and we are using the best solution in the market today inside our products.
All right. Ido, thank you so much for answering all my questions that I've been shooting at you. I do want to leave a little bit of time and look at the chat because I see that we have some questions. So let's see if you can answer some of them. Someone is asking, any ideas about the recent cameras breach through Verkada startup? Outside of not posting super admin data online, is there a way to secure cloud cams and other smart hardware?
Yeah, so the recent hack is it's a crazy. It happens all the time, and it happened when sensors and IoT devices are connecting to clouds and non-secure infrastructures. And yeah, we are looking today of how to secure those elements, those gateways. You definitely cannot protect any type of sensors out there. Okay. But the places where there are those types of sensors are connecting to the networks, there is where you can enable our product to support and filter and make sure that only authorized actors can gain access. And realizing that all those stuff are breaks. The main message here: protect your sensitive application and data. So that's the issue. You not necessarily protect any sensor, but protect your critical assets. That's the issue.
Okay, I think that's a good answer. Another question is, do you have a bug bounty program? Is that something you do?
Currently, no. Maybe in the future. As mentioned before, we are doing it, with professional companies, and we'll publish if there will be any thoughts about it.
All right. So let's stay tuned. Anybody out there who is looking for bug bounty programs, maybe. There's a question here. Do they also offer security auditing as well, showing how exposed the company could be? I don't think you offer, I'm going to go ahead and think you don't offer that service. Am I wrong? Do you offer?
We are currently not offering security auditing, but soon we are going to be public and traded on the Tel Aviv exchange. We are
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. This is really exciting news. And we are going to be merged to a bigger company, and we might be allow those services and enable them for several industries. So stay tuned, maybe.
Maybe. Paul asked, Eleanor, are you perhaps referring to the latest EID vote from last weekend? Yes, absolutely. That was my Swiss anecdote moment. There was a last votation about it, and whatever. There was all these, basically the government, I didn't follow this super closely, but there were questions about, the debate was, should the government give the e-identity, all of that, to the private sector? The government, whatever. So that was like a whole thing. And then they voted against it. So yay, but e-governance. France, that's just a funny remark. Someone said, France built a perfect defense against sophisticated vaccine IP attacks. The secret, completely failing to make a good vaccine. Okay, I'll just let them slide. Is Hub Security a vault? Is Hub Security the vault a custodial security as well? Do you want to answer that?
What was that? Sorry.
Is Hub Security, i.e., the vault, a custodial security as well?
So our vault, hopefully I understand the question. So our vault is offering companies to manage their own funds. They are in control of the keys. They are in control in the 24 words. So they can back up, keep it inside. They can use the mini HSM device to do all the management. We, as Hub Security, we do only the hosting, but we don't get any type of access, of course, to the product itself. So this is only for the clients. And of course, there is the on-prem solution that we offer. We are not a custodian again.
Yeah.
We are building the technology for custodian, for traders, for organizations.
Yeah. So to repeat, non-custodian service, you don't offer custody services. This is really a solution for people that want to have better custody solution in-house, basically, for their own assets. One question, if you use MetaMask, do you get Hub security automatically, or is it an optional extra? Can I answer that? I think I can answer this one. So if you use MetaMask, no, you do not get Hub security automatically. If you just use MetaMask on its own, you do have your private keys and it sits on your browser and it does allow you to interact with DeFi. However, you do not have all the features that we discussed today, so you cannot develop very specific rules for your teams or admin to be able to, you know, we talked about velocity today. We talked about delaying transactions as well, and all these different rules that you can apply in your team regarding transactions. You don't have obviously the security, right? The vault. You don't have the mini HSM. And you are also not covered. You don't have any insurance on your funds when you're just interacting directly with MetaMask. You do have your private keys, but that's MetaMask's private key. So,
right.
So it's absolutely an extra. Hub security is just, let's say, another layer of security. Basically, MetaMask itself is a functioning product, and I would say, like, if you are an institutional actor trying to get into DeFi, consider seriously having an extra layer of security. Otherwise, you might run into the same issues that we just discussed as the NXM hack, for example.
Yeah. So MetaMask is great. If you want the security, call up security will help you with that. Eli, I see a question from Tony. He's asking, could the person who make the rules for the vault get hacked and then change the rules, or would this also be multi-sig? If so, what is something happens to one of them? How do you get around it? So Tony, thanks for the question. Basically, the person who makes the rules, it's not specifically a person. It can be several persons, which each one of them can hold our mini HSM device. So we are doing a quorum between those persons. So one is not enough to change the rules. So if someone, you know, took a gun and put to his head and tell him, hey, do something, the other guys in the team will need to approve it as well. So it really depends, you know, the company can decide how many administrators to put, and, you know, in terms of risk. And also we offer, you know, level, I would say, when the risk is smaller, we can also support other types of two-factor authentication and software authentication, not relying on, you know, specific our mini HSM device. So it really depends. And I hope I answer for your question.
There's one last question that I see from Paul. What incentives do you recommend giving to traditional legacy financial institutions in order to adopt DeFi as an opportunity rather as a risk for the legacy financial institutions? I mean, there's a paradigm shift, obviously, to be made, and decision makers at these high-level financial institutions might not realize the opportunity that lies in DeFi as well. I offer classes, but I also, what I want to say is that DeFi is definitely an opportunity. I would, if any financial institutions out there are listening, DeFi stands for decentralized finance, and is you shouldn't see it as a threat. You should see it just as another place to explore, another land of opportunity. I don't offer investment advice, but it's definitely a place which is bubbling with innovation. There's beautiful communities out there that are building beautiful use cases as well. It is the land of the Wild West, but with unicorns and rainbows and hacks. So do it safely and maybe offer that exposure to your traditional clients that would not want to miss on these opportunities. I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Ido's nodding. He's like, okay. Another question: can transactions be confirmed remotely?
Yeah,
I want to say
definitely.
yes, because the
Definitely.
miniatures, yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So Charles, basically when you are, let's say you are using a Uniswap on top of the MetaMask and you want to change between OED liquidity, whatever. Once you're doing that, a message sent through the MetaMask to our vault HSM and requires your specific approval for that. Basically, you can set a rule that it will sign and approve automatically if you want to trade fast, and set a rule that smaller amount of transaction will be automatically approved, and you can run algo trading and stuff. But if it's a risky stuff, you can decide, okay, I want to visually approve the transaction. So you get a notification to your MetaMask or to your mobile phone. We deliver also our mobile application, and you physically can approve it on the mini HSM device. Like the mini HSM device, we didn't mention it. It's connect to your laptop or your mobile phone through a Bluetooth or USB, and you can see on the screen all the details of the transaction, and you approve with your PIN code. So once you set it up, you choose your PIN code. You are the only one in the world who knows the PIN code, and only you can approve specific transaction. So yeah, you can confirm transaction remotely, definitely, and online.
Thank you everybody for your questions, and thank you everybody for tuning in. If you have any questions, obviously, or if you want to rewatch this, it will be available on YouTube under the Hub Security YouTube channel. If you would like to get in touch with myself, my name again is Eleonore Blanc. I'm the founder of CryptoCanal.org. If you want to check me out, I offer education and marketing and business development solutions. And it's been a pleasure, Ido, to host this event with you. Thank you so much. And I'm really happy that you guys are considering crypto and offering solutions like this, and integrating with MetaMask, I think is a big step. So hopefully this is the next big step for institutionals to step into this industry.
Thanks, Ellie. It was great talking with you, and thanks for everyone for joining, and keep safe.